All right, guys, so we just went over the notes for factoring by grouping. So just a quick recap. Remember, these are 4-term polynomials. Grouping is the same process as the backwards FOIL. It's just a part of that process. And so the steps for that, we're going to rewrite it, make sure it's in standard form. We're going to group the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. We're going to remove the greatest common factors, and then we're going to separate what we have into 2 binomial factors, okay? So here's the example problem that we're going to start with. So in all honesty, this is already written in standard form. It's simplified, it's rearranged, but there is an easier way to write these so that when we go to separate them into factors, it'll be a little bit easier. Now, the way that it's written now, it's completely possible and fairly easy to go ahead and separate that. But a little bit easier is if we rewrite it so that we have 2ax plus x minus 2ay minus y. And that groups those x's together and those y's together. Now up here, the a's are grouped together, so there's no problem with that. We could have left it just like that, but it just might make it a little bit easier to visualize if we put it in this order. Okay, so we've rewritten it. We're going to group the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms together, and remember, we include the signs in that. So we're going to have 2ax plus x, and then we're going to have negative 2ay minus y, and then we're just going to throw a plus sign in between that just so that we can keep it separate. Now, we're still multiplying because they're still factors, but that plus sign is just there so that when we create our factors, we know what goes where, okay? So first thing we're going to do here after we've done those 2 steps is we're going to remove the greatest common factor. So if you look here, the greatest common factor here is going to be x, okay? So we can actually pull out that x. And when you divide both of these terms by x, you're left with 2a and 1. And then over here, when we pull out the greatest common factor, we're going to pull out a negative y, okay? And we want to pull out that negative because we don't want to leave it right here. So this is a negative y. When we divide this by negative y, we're left with 2a. And when we divide this by negative y, we're left with 1. Okay, so now we can take what we have left and separate it into the 2 factors. We have the first factor, okay, which is the same. So we have 2a plus 1. And then we have the leftovers. We have x plus a negative y. Okay, and so what we're left with are the 2 factors that we should have. Our powers are 1. We do need to prove our answer. So in order to do that, we multiply it back out. So we start with the first 2 terms. So 2a times x is 2ax. And then we go to the outer terms. 2a times negative y is going to be a negative 2ay. And then we have inner terms. 1 times x is x, and 1 times negative y is negative y. And this is the same as what we started with. So our final answer is going to be 2a plus 1 multiplied by x minus y. Okay? So that's how you solve these. And like I said, they're the same as last time. So what I'm going to do is show maybe 1 or 2 more examples of this because it is similar to last time, so I'm not going to do as many examples. If you need more examples, you can send me an email. I'll be glad to send you another video or upload those later on throughout the week or whatever you need. So if you need more videos, more examples, let me know. I'm going to do probably 1, maybe 2 more. And then I'm going to do some review problems. And then you guys will actually have just a little review quiz at the end of the week that you can take, okay? Alrighty then, I think that's everything, and just be on the lookout for the next video.